What up, though? It's your boy Willie Stylez in the building. Welcome to tonight's show. Thank you for joining. We are here for a Stylez and Smooth recap. We're going to be doing a new Netflix movie that just came out recently, and we're going to be talking about that. So before we get started, today is March 9th. It's 9 p.m. We're going to have a great show for you, and want to definitely make sure you remember to like, follow, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Make sure you get at us so that way you know when we're going live, when we're having shows, and you just keep up with the crew. So make sure you do that. Definitely get over to the Join the Conversation group over at facebook.com/groups/GFT Join the Conversation. We have tons of topics over there that we do. We're going to be, we always have posts, memes, all kinds of stuff. So come over, have some fun with us. That's where the crew normally is. But tonight we're going to be talking about Netflix new movie, The Weekend Away. It's a disappearance thriller, definitely full of twists and turns, and definitely a great watch if you're looking for a new movie to watch, either tonight, tomorrow, or this weekend. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And hopefully, if you've already seen it, it'll resonate with you. But before we get into all the intricacies of it, we're going to have a spoiler-free review. We're going to just talk about the high level overall, what we think about the movie, and how we feel about how it went, and and then that way you'll know if you want to check it out for yourself. So again, we're going to talk about Netflix, The Weekend Away. Smooth should be joining me here shortly, hopefully, and I believe Sunny's going to be in the comments as well. She just recently watched the movie. I actually just watched the movie yesterday, so it's fresh in my mind, fresh on fresh off of watching it. Like I said, it was a really good movie. It definitely had its ups and downs, its twists, its turns, and I definitely recommend watching this movie. From a spoiler-free review, I can definitely tell you that The Weekend Away is, like I said, it's a really good thriller. It wasn't like crazy when it comes to like most thrillers, how some of them have a lot of stuff, like trying to scare you or anything like that. It's not anything like that, but a thriller in terms of it just keeps it keeps your heart racing. Like you're just always like, what's about to happen next? Who's gonna do what to who? So it was definitely a very interesting ride on this movie. It's based on a book, as well as it is like I said, it's a Netflix movie, so you can definitely check that out on Netflix if you have a Netflix subscription. And I personally give it I would say a 7 out of 10. I think it was a really good movie. It definitely had some interesting characters. There were, I can't even tell you how many twists there were to how things were going. So if you enjoy plots that have a twist to them, subplots, things like that, you'll definitely enjoy this movie. It wasn't boring at all. I don't even remember it being slow in too many spots. I mean, I want to say there was 1 or 2 spots where it might have gotten a little slow, but it like immediately got back to the action. So I definitely felt like it had a great pace. By the end, every time I thought it was about to end, it just kept going because it had another twist for you. But it did a great job of tying those things together, as well as making it make sense. So I definitely felt like the flow of it was a great flow. The actors, when Smooth brought this to me to do this review, he mentioned that he wasn't, it wasn't like blockbuster acting. Not that the acting was terrible. It's just that, he picked that out. Now, me, myself personally, as some of you may know, I'm very forgiving when it comes to singers, actors, things like that. So, not all the time do I catch things like that. And I have to admit, I didn't really catch that with this movie. They weren't well-known actors. They are definitely some lesser known folks. But I felt like they did a really good job of playing the parts and kind of playing to the screenplay. The writing, I think, was excellent for this type of movie and this type of genre. I think Smooth agreed with me on that when he did bring this to me. He basically said, he felt like the writing itself was really good. So I definitely feel like the actors did a good job of playing those roles as they were written. There was a little bit of chemistry going on between a couple of the actors that I noticed that I definitely appreciated, because it felt like there should have been this some type of chemistry between them. And I also felt like the actors, some of the actors who played certain types of roles, they did a great job of making me feel like the person that they were playing, like that character was shining through. So I definitely felt like, in my opinion, the acting I thought was really good, especially for these to not be well-known actors. Now, I'm assuming there was a couple of folks that were in it that when I looked up the information on the movie, that it was some people, that I guess other folks that may have heard of, or that they were really or they were known in certain niches. So, so some folks may be familiar with them. But, if these weren't actors that I was, specifically familiar with. I'm going to pull up a quick screen grab of the cast and go over that as well. So the actors that were in this movie, like I said, not very well known. Leighton Meester, I personally haven't seen her in anything, but she's the main actress. She plays Beth. Zayed Bakri played Zane. He was another main character. Amar Buchik played Pavich. He was one of the cops in the movie. Christina Wolf is our kind of our guest of honor. She's the one that was missing in the movie. She actually had a very big part in the movie. If you're familiar with disappearance thrillers, is that a lot of times the person that disappears only has a very small part. But Christina Wolf played Kate, and Kate had a very large part in this movie. I think she was around for like I would say the first 10 or 15 minutes of the movie. And then they had so many different flashbacks and things like that that she was in as well. So she definitely had a bigger role. Hey, Sonny, how are you? Oh, you saw on mute. But yeah, so she did have a bigger part. So that was one thing I kind of noticed and I kind of liked about this movie, is that we got to really know the person before they disappeared. The rest of the actors, most of you can tell these are not very, they're not like, Hollywood actors. This is a Croatian. This is it's a Croatian setting. I don't know if it was really filmed in Croatia or not, but it was a Croatian setting. There were some sites that were used in Croatia. But the film, as far as I picked up in the bio of the film, is that it is an American film. So they just happened to pick that setting, probably from the book. So back to the spoiler-free review. Again, like I said, I give it a 7 out of 10. Right now, I believe it's got a 5.6 on IMDb. Yep, 5.6 on IMDb, 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 4 out of 5 on Movie Insider. And 77% of people make that 77.1% like this movie. So, and that's out of Google users. So, very, very well received movie. 5.6 on IMDb is not that high, but 59% in Rotten Tomatoes is definitely not a bad rating. Anything in that 60% or higher range generally is a pretty good movie. So to get 59%, they're doing pretty good. 4 out of 5 on Movie Insider. I'm not too familiar with Movie Insider, but I'm thinking 4 out of 5, and anything has to be good. So I definitely recommend the movie. So definitely, if you're looking for a great thriller drama to kind of get into, definitely get into this. Like I said, the movie is an American movie, so there's not a ton of accents to deal with, so don't be worried about that. Also, don't worry about too much. I mean, there's a few parts where they're speaking Croatian, but they they have the subtitles for that part of course. But excuse me, Sonny, what up, though? Oh, you're muted.
I forgot. I figured I'd jump on.
Okay, appreciations.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what did you think from a spoiler-free review? What did you think about the movie? What was your rating? What did you think overall about the movie?
It had me all in my feelings, all over the place. Like, definitely was what you thought it was. It wasn't.
Right.
Like some stuff you kind of predict. Some of the stuff I knew, I knew and I was right. But some of the stuff was like, wow, like
Yeah. Now, admittedly, I'm usually a very perceptive person. I deduce things quickly, and there was only one or two times where I was kind of on track with there's a problem with this person or there's a problem with this scenario. But the rest of the time, I was surprised. So I was very happy with that part of it, because even though it left me shocked in certain spots, I definitely didn't feel like it was it wasn't ridiculous. It was perfectly placed. Things were perfectly placed. What up, though, Sanchez? Appreciate you joining in. Thanks for you said this is
thank you
dope.
for
Yeah,
tuning
yeah.
in.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So yeah, so we're talking about The Weekend Away. It's a new Netflix drama. It's a disappearance thriller. So what did you think about the fact that the person that disappeared, Kate, was actually in the movie for a good chunk of the movie? Did you notice that was a little different in terms of other disappearance dramas?
Um, no, I liked it because it kind of set the story. Like, it gave you bits and pieces of the story.
Mm-hmm,
So it
mm-hmm.
wasn't like she was just missing and you had to wait throughout the whole process to find the story. You got little links into what might have happened, what could have happened, what
Exactly.
her friend thought happened, like what she
Yeah.
could remember bits and pieces. So it was kind of good to get that. It wasn't like you had to. I mean, sometimes it's okay for a movie to tell you at the end like what really happened, but I like
Right.
that it kind of gave you all these options of what could have happened.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that's the one thing I liked about it too, because like you said, having the bits and pieces along the way definitely adds to the mystery of it, because you're not, even though it's the ones that tell you that everything at the end, that's it's totally mysterious, but most of the time they give away what happened anyway. You're pretty much figuring it out before they tell
Yeah,
you.
and you can kind
But
of figure it out.
yeah, but with this one, they were throwing so many different clues at you. It made you feel like you knew until they twisted it on you. You're like, wait a minute, like what's
Yeah,
happening here? So yeah, definitely a lot of pleasant surprises when it came down to um, what was going on. So
yeah.
I think we've talked enough about the spoiler free review.
Did
Oh,
you
what
do a
was your
rating?
rating? What was your rating? I forgot to ask that.
Oh, so my rating, well, we're doing out of 10, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would say it's 8.5 for me.
8.5. Okay, for sure, for sure. I would, actually, I'm gonna bump mine up a little bit. I'm gonna be a little bit more, because I gave it a 7, but no, I definitely would give it an 8. I would definitely give it an 8. I probably wouldn't give it an 8.5, only because there was a few parts that I was just like, it was okay, but it was like I enjoyed the energy in it. I enjoyed the storyline. I enjoyed, like I said, the actors to me I thought were good. I didn't think they were like spectacular, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this is like my favorite actor all the time or nothing, but I definitely felt like I could still connect with the characters, and I think that was that was a thing too. It wasn't distracting, because it's like, oh, I saw them in this before and they were like
Yeah,
this, but I didn't get distracted by that because they were lesser known
but
actors,
plus
right?
on top of that, not even that for me. For me, it was giving some of the backstory of the two main characters, not everybody
Mhm.
else. So you kind of couldn't peg them and figure them out.
Right,
Like,
right.
you got bits and pieces of the supporting characters, and not like throughout the story it unfolded of like giving you more of their story. It didn't just go out, these are the people, so you can kind of get an idea of who these people are. It gave you pieces, but you still didn't know that person, so you don't really like with how the movie was. It was so mysterious because you wouldn't know.
Right.
Who was capable of what? Because they're just
Exactly. Who was capable of what?
a splash of this. Not gonna give you like, oh well, he could have did this or she could have did this. Like you didn't really get that vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. So, we might as well make this Styles and Sunny's recap because I don't know what happened to Smooth.
Yeah, I'm on here, but just know that my sun is up, guys. So I'm gonna be muting and unmuting.
No problem.
I wasn't planning on it. I was planning on being in the comments, but I was like, let me just because I literally came home today and watched it. Like, let me watch it.
Right.
And my bad. Give me 1 minute so I can. Yeah, give me 1 minute. Let me log in through my computer. I just want to say my bad. I'm running a little late. My bad.
No, you're good.
All right.
So the one thing I just looked up is because I was like, the main actress, I was like, I'm pretty sure she was in something because people were talking about her online. So I did just look it up. She was actually in Gossip Girl. I've never seen it before, but that is a popular show that was on the CW.
I never watched it either.
Yeah, for about 5 years. She was in the movie That's My Boy. She was in a movie called The Roommate that I guess she was known for. And she's been in several other TV shows and movies. So interesting. She was in, in these different items. Most of them I've never seen before. She was actually in How I Met Your Father, which I've been interested in seeing that show, but I haven't watched yet. But,
I watched How I Met Your Mother a little bit, but like I haven't watched How I Met Your Father.
Yeah. Looks like the actor who played Zayn, Zayed Bakri, he's been in a few different movies as well. The cop Pavich, he's got some older items in his list of known movies back from 2003 and 2007. So, like I said, most of these actors definitely not big time Hollywood actors. So that definitely helped not distract us for sure. Definitely helped not distract us. All right, so
wrong movie, Dro.
The crazy chick from Roommate. Oh, she was the crazy chick from Roommate. Okay.
Who that?
Yeah, Leighton Meester. Yeah.
Oh, she was in that movie?
Yeah, she was in a movie called Roommate. Yeah, The Roommate. Oh, so she was one of the main actresses.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Oh.
Yeah. I've never seen Roommate, so I didn't know. So thanks a lot for that information, Dro.
Oh, and she was on House. She looked kind of familiar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was in House of M&D.
I'm looking at that.
Really that though, because I was like, I would have remembered her in the House. House I've seen, but yeah.
House is the shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What I missed? All right.
So we're wrapping up the spoiler-free review. So just give us a quick overview of what you thought and your rating, and then we'll get into the spoilers.
Like I said, the acting, I want to give it two different ratings.
Mm-hmm.
So the acting, I give about 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it 7, 6.5 to 7. The acting.
Okay.
The writing though, and the plot, I'm giving a 9.5.
Okay.
I'm giving a 9.5.
Now, if I had to split it, yeah, I definitely would do that. I would. Now, I was just telling Sonny earlier. At first I gave it a 7.5, and then I took it back and said, no, I'm gonna give it a whole 8. And she gave it an 8.5. Okay. For the movie overall. I didn't feel that the acting was any, but then sounds like from what you're saying with a 7, I would say a 7 is good for acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't no, oh man, like you screaming about how well they was acting and
exactly. Yeah.
You feel me? So that's why but they did a good job.
Yeah, they did. Like I was telling the folks in the chat and everything, I was telling them, I was like, I think that they did a great job of bringing these characters alive. For the most part, I believed those characters were what they were written to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They did a great job of that, especially Zane, the taxi driver, exactly. Sebastian, the landlord, and Pavich, the cop. They all definitely sold it for me for real. Kate was good. I thought she was really good. The party girl, one that ended up disappearing. Mm-hmm. Beth, I was a little shaky on Beth, especially at the beginning. That really wasn't. It was hard. It was hard to picture her as a mother for one. But then I guess her being supposed to be a new mother, maybe that's what she was trying to give off.
She was real. To me, she was real naive.
Yeah.
So So I guess because her character was kind of naive, I gave her a little pass with the acting because, you know, she had to come across that way.
Right.
You feel me? And it's sad sometimes when you have to play a character who's naive. It kind of takes away from the performance a little bit because you're judging the character and the decisions they make.
Good point. Yeah, because thinking about it, you know, Zane was very confident in his role, very believable in his role. He pushed that energy that you thought he should have pushed, and I thought he did a great job of giving us both the trustworthy companion, but then the mysterious, you know,
stranger.
It's like
he was telling her like, stop being so trustworthy. You just like my wife.
Exactly. So
I like that the landlord guy was creepy as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. The landlord pulled that. He played that part perfectly. Like that was the part because I never knew what to think with the landlord ever.
Yeah,
and that's what made me want to do. He was one of the characters. I'm like, yo, like they did his character justice because and he acted it out perfectly because you think he just some nerd geek type, know what I mean, goofy, what is it? How you say it? Awkward,
socially inept,
socially challenged,
exactly. And then as it develops, you see, oh, okay,
there's something else going on with boy. So we're gonna get into the spoilers. We already started talking about these characters. So if you haven't seen the movie, go watch the movie. It's over on Netflix. It's available if you have Netflix. It's available on Netflix right now. It's called The Weekend Away. Like I said, it is an American thriller, but it's set in Croatia. That's why all the names are different foreign names, as well as the fact that it's takes place in Croatia as well. So definitely check that out. We're gonna get right into the spoilers. Since we're already on this tip, I want to keep this going, talking about the characters. So let's go back to Beth. Beth is our main character. She's the one that has the baby, the husband at home. Sounds like she's on her first vacation since having the baby. Baby looked about maybe a year old, maybe a little less. And,
probably like 9 months to me.
Yeah, I would say somewhere between 9 and 12 months. She was definitely like we were saying, not only that's naive, but she was definitely nervous about how she was going to do on this trip. Overall, I felt like she did a good job with the role. I felt like she played up to, like you say, the naivety. But there was those little flashes of her, kind of figuring things out, and which is something I liked about it as well. What did y'all think about the portrayal of Beth?
So you can tell, like early on in the movie when they're doing a little flashback, she was the one that was reserved. You feel me? So her character, she wasn't what she used to be. Like she used to her friend Kate was trying to remind her of the free spirit she once was, and how her husband, since she's been in a married life, she hasn't been that individual. She's lost. She got lost in whatever that situation was. She lost herself. She wasn't being her no more. So you can tell, and I guess that was kind of if you can relate to that, it'll draw you to her character.
Right.
Or if you don't relate to that, you'll do like I did. And I'm like, yo, this girl is super naive. Like, what's the issue with her? You know what I mean? Like she getting on my nerves. Like she characters. Like it's like she getting on my nerves right now. So
that's a man's perspective, and I'm gonna explain why I like. Even though I can relate to her in some aspects, as a person who, like, when you're single, you don't have no kids. As a female, you can go out and do whatever. Like you don't really have to worry about certain things. You could just go live your best life, right? Now, all of a sudden, you just push this baby out. She was still breastfeeding when she went on vacation. So she's in mom mode. Like, even though what she was in her past life, she's in her mom mode. She hasn't had a drink for a good while. And especially when breastfeeding, most moms won't drink until they get done breastfeeding or be mindful. And on top of that, like, so when you first 9 months pregnant, just and have a baby, probably look like that baby's under a year or at close to a year, she probably not drinking because she's still breastfeeding. She's not equipped to drink, so she can't be party girl because she's gonna be drunk and completely drunk early because her body is not for
Not
that.
used to it. Yeah,
it's like starting all over again for her. So she was more. I feel like she was more cautious because she, on top of that, you still breastfeeding. So even though you're a baby, you still got to pump. You still got you got to be conscious of what's going on because your body is still on some bullshit right now. It's not back to 100% or where you want it to be comfortable to be out. So she was just uncomfortable, period. Like, my friend was going on vacation. I'm not really comfortable leaving my baby. And I got all stuff going on with my body, but now I got to go out and look cute and be seen and possibly drink. And I don't know what's about to happen.
And I think that's part of it. But see,
she still was naive though.
Yeah, but Kate's perspective, her friend's perspective was, it's been a while. It's been years. You feel me? It wasn't just because, like we said, the baby probably between 9 months. I don't even think it was a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it was just accumulation, and then that added on to it.
Yeah,
I felt like, that's she was. She didn't know who she was anymore, and you could see that she didn't know who she wanted to be. You feel me? She was being what she thought she should be.
But one thing they didn't really pull out early on was the fact that it seemed like they had only just been married for maybe a year or two as well before the baby came. So I think that was another thing. She was so wrapped up in this marriage, this relationship, and then she jumped into motherhood, and then now she's trying to jump out into the world again. And like you said, that made her feel a little bit more awkward, a little bit more self-conscious. She was definitely self-conscious the whole time because like you said, Sonny, great point, Sonny, is her feeling self-conscious about her body, about the way she was dressing. She pulled that dress out and she's like, I already know Kate's got a way better dress than this. I'm about to be underdressed, So that it stood out.
Yeah.
So Zane. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. We can get to Zane.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Zane was the taxi cab driver. Her friend, her confidant, her enforcer, and he played the heck out of that role. Between the mysterious taxi driver that most of us probably would have never trusted to begin with, to somebody who she could depend on. And then for a brief moment there, we weren't even sure if he was involved or not and what was going on. There were so many different things that he held strong, making that role what it was. Like, what was y'all thoughts?
Go ahead, son.
Oh, I liked Zane from the beginning. I felt like her initial interaction with him and just how he was. I don't want to say like blindly trusting him, but for going into a new country and not really knowing anybody, and this is your introduction to a person and their interaction and how he helped them with certain, but he helped them along the way. I liked how she approached later on the situation with him and didn't just go left field with it. But I think I liked him. He played his part like he played that part because like he seemed sketchy, but because like who's that willing to help somebody they just met?
Yeah.
But at that point, she was a good judge of character in him.
Yeah.
Like out of all the judgment of character of the people that she met, it was like that was a good first impression, and her judgment was great.
So I was on point.
And now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes. My thing was about the movie why I liked it so much, because it had so many different dynamics within relationships. So you got Beth and Kate, best friends. Then you got Beth, her husband. Then you got this guy, the stranger.
He was probably more of a friend to her than anybody.
Exactly. And it goes to that old saying it's not how long you know somebody, it's what that person's how well you know them, or how
you know. Yeah.
You feel me? And like somebody said, the one stranger that she met, the first stranger that she really met, she judged him correctly. You feel me? She judged him correctly. Now, did she know all his history or not? No. No, I mean, if she would have knew that from the beginning,
she probably would have been, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? And for those who don't know, he was accused of working with who was the
Albanian? He was the
Albanian thing. He was sex trafficking and drugs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they was involved with sex trafficking and stuff like that. So
which doesn't look good when somebody's missing.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't look good when somebody's missing.
Yo, that part had me like, wait, what? Wait a minute.
Me too. I was like, what the heck? Like, oh, I was like, no, Zane, no, not you, bro.
And for those who don't know,
I'm gonna tell you how I felt about him toward the end, though.
Let's spoil it real quick. So Kate, everybody know Kate died, but it was a mystery of how she died, where she died, and all that. So
like what all happened?
They was out at the club, partying, boom. Next morning, Beth wakes up unaware of anything. She don't know what's going on. She don't know
what happened.
No, yeah, you feel me? So she just finds something on the floor that has some blood on it. You feel me? Kate's not there. So she's just she go in panic mode now, and she's trying to retrace her steps and figure out what's going on, and that's where she runs into Zane again, and Zane starts to help her. That's where Zane comes in to be the hero, so to speak.
Now I have a question.
Go ahead.
To back it up. So when she woke up and was trying to figure out what the fuck happened, and she called her hubby and was like, babe, listen, Kate, I don't know where she at. Like, shit's going left. He was so dismissive.
Mm-hmm.
It bothered me.
Because
he kept I get it. She is one of those friends that will up and leave you for a man, blah blah. I as a female, and some of you males have friends like that. Y'all nigga leave y'all for a female and won't talk to you. But for females, it's a little different. Like if I'm upset that my friend hasn't called me, and I'm calling her phone because, and that goes to the friendship. Like she knew what kind of friend she had. So understanding that that's the type of person she is.
See, but
at some point she's going to answer me.
Her history proved it, because when she was on the phone, the only reason why she figured something was wrong is when she seen the blood.
Yeah,
and that on the floor, but because she called her husband, she called somebody else.
She called her husband, and she called the girl ex-husband.
The ex-husband.
And the ex-husband was like, well, she does this all the time.
Right.
Remember, she left and she was like, she was gone for 9 days.
But I can understand him saying that because y'all going through a divorce. Copy that. Like you on some bullshit. You fuck her. I don't really give a fuck about her. Totally get that. Totally a buck get that. My problem was her husband, because yes, that's my best friend. Yes, she flaky as fuck and she do nonsense and stuff like that, whatever. But if I'm telling you I saw blood and XYZ, something is like.
But you gotta remember, this is what pissed me off about her. Because early on, we found out her best friend, her husband, had one drunken night.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't early on. I didn't find that out. Did that happen early on?
No, it was later.
It was later, but so knowing that,
yeah,
the husband, like he can't show, because he can't
show too much emotion. Yeah,
he can't show too much emotion, because if he do, he don't want her thinking, oh, he still has feelings for her.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Also,
he got to play it off.
But also, to back it up further, so I got suspect. I'm gonna tell you when I first got suspect of old girl Kate, when she gave her that necklace and she hugged her, and Kate's facial expression.
Yeah.
for me, that was a red flag. Something ain't right.
Yeah, I thought I figured something.
Like
was
I didn't know
going on
what
with that.
extent, but I knew something was up. I didn't think that. Like, I mean, I kind of thought maybe she's sleeping with this girl's husband. Like, I'm not, because I'm just negative Nancy. So that was my mind first went, but I wasn't 100% sure. But like the facial expression, because she gave her the gift, you know, and then she gave it to her because she felt bad because she had not been a good friend because she was being wife and mom. She didn't give, like, you weren't really being a part of the friendship. So you gave it to her as a, oh, I'm sorry. Hey, listen, I need you to take me out. Here you go. But the words she said to her, I think it made her feel bad, and that's what made her make that face. So at that point, I said she probably fucking this girl husband. Wasn't sure.
Damn.
But that's from that whole interaction. I was like, yeah, she shady. Shady.
Yeah, I think her phoniness showed immediately. That's what I got off from her.
Yeah, I was like, oh well, she probably on some bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that was the thing for me too. I didn't suspect her of sleeping with somebody. I just assumed
I did.
I just assumed she was up to no good, because when, like, the whole situation with the credit card, like, you know, she was clear that she was, you know, stealing her ex-husband's money from the credit card, but it was just something didn't sit right with me about how she was doing things and why she was doing it. Because I was like, you're trying too hard with this girl. You're trying too hard with the situation. You're trying too hard with everything. And like you said, Smooth, it was the phoniness for me, and the look on her face when she hugged her did tell me something's up. I just didn't think that it was that. You know, I didn't pick that up.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
I thought it was from the gate.
I thought she was setting her up for something.
Yeah,
I thought she was going. I thought that she's fucking her husband and she was going to kill her to go be with the husband. I thought
so like that was the whole movie out by the time it started.
Sleeping with this man, this girl husband, and she gonna kill her on the trip, or a freak accident gonna happen, and then all of a sudden they gonna be raising little baby Tika or whatever the little baby name is.
Yeah, but you was better than me, because I just thought, all right, she about to set her up. She about to do something dirty.
Yeah, I never thought it was Kate that was going to die. I always thought it was going to be Beth. Like, Beth going to die. She's stupid.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked when Kate came up missing and it wasn't Beth, because I was like, oh wait, hold on, she's the one that's missing. Like, but so this is the thing that I went through was when she had made the phone call to the ex-husband and she said, look, you know, she's missing. I don't think she would do this to me. And he's like, well, you know, she's flaky. She went off to New York one time for a week and didn't call me. And she's like, well, you talked to her yesterday. What did she say? And he's like, I didn't talk to her. That's when I knew something was shady about what she was doing.
That confirmed she was sleeping with the husband for me. I'm just saying.
So no, what that made me feel like was like maybe she's setting her up to take a fall for something, or maybe she's trying to get her stuck in Croatia and to do something. I just didn't know what. You know, I still was trying to put the pieces together. Like, I never suspected the husband, because he, like you said, he was dismissive. I felt like he didn't care. Like, so that didn't scream to me, I'm sleeping with this woman, because he was like, whatever, you know. So I never thought that he would even be involved, because, you know, he's sitting there with the baby. He's like, man, yo. Because he remember when he talked to her on the phone the night before, he was like pissed off with her. He seemed real distant to her, because she was like, "Hey, Rob, what's going on?" And he's like, "Nothing. Like, leave me alone. Like, you know, I can't believe you got my wife out there thotting." You know. Exactly.
And so, where y'all want to skip to? Y'all want to skip to her?
No, let's skip to the club. Let's skip to the club.
Okay, let's go to the club,
because that's another place where I thought the setup was happening. So the whole situation with, or to skip back, we gotta go back. That was what happened the night before the disappearance. So the whole thing with the guys, you know, I admit, as soon as the guy touched her face, I was like, either he's super creepy or old girl set this up. These are some guys she must have known and wanted her to get, you know, hook up, you know. But I was thinking the best of Kate, thinking like, oh, she's just trying to get her to, you know, to smash, because she had already told her, like, you know, you know, what's going on with you and your husband? Oh, well, you know, let's go to the club. I'm thinking like, oh, she done made a call. She done been like, you know, my girl needs some dick, you know, come through to the club, you know, hook her up. You know, so that's what I thought was happening. And then turned out that really was happening, because when she found out that the two guys at the club, when her and Zane went back to the club, the question of the bartender, he's like, yeah, they're escorts. They're literally male gigolos. So, you know, that was crazy to me, because I was thinking like, oh, so she really trying to set this woman up.
I thought she drugged. So here's what I thought. So when she got the drinks and she was like, what you want? She's like, I want a water. And she was like, get us whatever, a gin and tonic.
Gin and tonics. Mm-hmm.
I thought she put something in the drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's why I felt like Beth didn't know that she did it, but I thought she was babysitting because she realized it wasn't the water. Right. And then the girl was all in the guy's face, and then Beth like, bitch, I don't know you. Like, you want to see my? The way she said that shit to that nigga, like, hey, you want to see my baby?
Want to see my baby picture?
You was letting him know up front. Listen, this ain't about to happen, bro. Like, I just want you to talk about.
I love that. That was hilarious.
My boobs hurt. That's what we're gonna talk about.
But
and I thought that she was gonna drug her to get her to be loose to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Now check. This is what I'm talking about. Friends, right? Check how fake of a friend she was. Like that, she had to be one of the most horrible friends. Doing this with this woman's wife, right? I mean, woman's husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
You basically trying to get her to cheat, so you can feel better
about fucking her
about
husband.
what you did, about what you doing to her.
Exactly.
You feel me? You see how foul that is?
Yes.
You feel me? So you want her to have a conflict of conscience and self from doing something wrong, because you know you're doing something wrong.
Right.
And then after she does it, that's when you probably want to break the news to her that you're being about what's going on. Like, you see how foul that is? Like,
that was just trying to justify what she was doing. Well, listen, you cheated too. He cheated, but it's
or even worse, like she was going to set her up so that she could tell her husband, like, look, she cheated on you, so you know what it do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so after we went through the first, you know, like she went to the cops, she went to the bar, then Zane puts two and two together, like, you know what, we got to catch up with these guys. We really got to figure out what they know. And so at that point, I was really comfortable with Zane. I was really thinking, like, I was already thinking something's up with this landlord, bro. Like, this Airbnb guy is
that makes me never want to get an Airbnb a day in my life. Like, I'm just like, I don't like, I be thinking about getting an Airbnb, but I'm like, oh no,
I know I'm be super investigating now. Like, he had cameras everywhere, in the mirrors, in the ceiling, on the wall. I'm like, bro, like, where didn't he have a camera at? She said he had one in the shower. I'm like, man, this is crazy. This is crazy.
He was doing.
And up until this point, I am oblivious to the damn landlord. Yeah, I'm not even, like, he's not even up until this point.
Yeah, because
he's not even on my radar.
You only see him that one time when they about to go out, and she like, and Beth is like, he said something to Kate, and Kate, you know, in her own best way, just ignored the fuck out of him. And Beth's like, all right, and he's visibly drunk, already going to the club. Like, listen, all right, well, we going. I'm Beth. I'm out.
I don't know. It was the creepy way he was looking at them. That was all I needed. That's all I needed to know. He was creepy. I was
I didn't think the landlord. I didn't suspect the landlord. I thought those gigolos killed her.
When he caught up with the old boy, when they was checking he caught him, and then he was like, you know,
he did the move on him.
He did the move on him with his hand. I'm like, okay, something up with old boy.
I thought he was gonna throw him off that cliff. I ain't even about to hold you.
Exactly. I'm
about to throw him off the cliff. It's about to be over for this man. And she gonna be like,
he ain't no regular cab driver. Like,
right.
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? It's something going on with him. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So now I'm trying to figure out that dynamic. But then they go back to the police station, or she go back to the police station after that.
Right. Yeah. And then he was like, don't tell him about me. All right, but like, go ahead and tell your story, but don't add me in there. I'm like, wait, what?
He's like, look, literally keep me a secret. Don't tell nobody nothing.
Exactly.
Like, I'm nice, but don't do it.
Now, this is when I knew some shit was funny, and I can tell when she was talking to the lady, and the lady like the captain or whatever, she like, so you came in last night?
Right.
She like, yeah, I came here. I spoke to him, and because what's his name?
Pavich. Yep.
He the detective, and she looked sideways like, you ain't filed a report. There's no report.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
he just stood there.
Already, I knew something. I'm like, yo, something up with dude.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was just being an asshole because he thought that they were Americans, stupid Americans, you know, and they was out here, they paid gigolos and they got robbed and they was being dumb.
I thought he was covering something up.
Well, I was in the middle. I was like, I knew something was up with him, but I mean, I felt like something was up with what he did, but then I also felt like he just dismissed everything because he felt like they were just out here thoughting.
They were doing drugs and alcohol.
Some dumb women, you know, that's how he kept treating her, like she was just some dumb woman. And so I was kind of in the middle. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here we go. See, this is where the movie started, because you know, it's always that one point in certain movies you're like, nah, here we go with the bullshit. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, here we go with the nonsense of the man not believing the woman, and now the woman, she want to talk to the woman captain, and the captain going to be, but it didn't go that way. Mm-hmm. It didn't go that way. Yeah. Captain was looking at her like, nah, you on some bullshit. You feel me?
Because he was like, she was like, so they just gave you her purse.
Yeah.
So like, exactly. like you walked up to these gigolos and was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna call the cops. And he's like, oh, I'll take you to get the purse. Like that don't make no goddamn sense.
No. And her story kept changing.
Yeah.
She was out of it, so she remembering bits and pieces at a time. Mm-hmm. So every time she tell the story, it's something new.
Yeah, but like that part didn't bother me, only because like she didn't remember what happened that whole fucking night. She said she told them, like, I don't know what happened. I woke up, my friend wasn't there. I think I got too, like, I just had a baby. I haven't, like, I was drinking. I probably had too much and I don't remember. Like she told them from the gate, like, listen, I just had a baby. I haven't been drinking forever. I don't know what the fuck happened.
But remember, that's when the detective guy Pavich started to doubt her, and she had to switch it up and be more like, she was more aware. Like, okay, well, this is what happened. I know this happened, and she was trying to be more confident in what she was saying, which was what was throwing them off later. Like, okay, are you confident in this or no? Were you drugged or no? Were you doing drugs or yeah? You know, so it started making them doubt her. Yeah, and I think that's where she went wrong. She tried to hide so much that she was ended up shooting herself in the foot.
Yeah. Cause she was like, I think I was drugged, but your friend take drugs? She probably did. So then you weren't. Then your friend, like, they was like, well, your friend drugged you. She was like, well, I don't think she would do that. Like, you don't know. She wants you to have a good time. Y'all had gigolos.
Gigolos.
You don't know what happened.
Right. Yeah. So now this is when her and Zane, I think, went. They had their little conversation, and then I think they ended up. That's when the police end up finding the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then they find the body. They bring her back in. She brings Zane with her this time. Check out the body. They're like, oh shoot, this is really her. Like, this is really happening. And
no, she didn't bring Zane. She brought her.
I take that back. She brought the husband. The husband,
and that would bother me too. So let's go back to that before we even get to the morgue situation.
Yeah,
this is why box number 3 got checked about him fucking this girl before stuff really went down, because you got there too quick, bruh. Like, you ain't tell her you was coming. Like, you called her. Yes, you did call her a couple times, but like, how quickly you got there. You just was on the phone with her saying she got to come home because the baby and you got to go to work. All of a sudden now you there, like, bruh, like, and then his immediate jealousy when he saw, like, I get it, she don't know him, but just his whole wave when he first showed up, that was like confirmed that he was sleeping with her. And then, like, the nail in the coffin was, of course, when we actually found out the messages and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, and that was the thing for me, was that I saw the jealousy. So I just assumed, again, he's just being a good husband. He decided to finally recognize, like, yeah, something's really going wrong. I need to be there for my wife. And, you know, so he hurries up and gets there. She had already mentioned it's only a 2-hour flight. So, you know, that's like me jumping on a plane and going to Chicago, right? You know, it's just like, it's not or Denver. It's not a big deal. Just jump over there, go do your thing. So I just assumed it was some situation like that. And as well as the interaction with Zane, I mean, rightfully so. That's his wife, right? And he literally walked up on her saying, you know what, let's go to dinner, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, who the hell are you going to dinner with? Like, you ain't told me nothing about this.
We're missing a part, though, a small part.
Oh,
when she told the police, because about the 2-hour flight, she was accusing
the ex-husband.
The ex-husband. She was accusing the ex-husband, and she told him, and she told them, she was like, it's only a 2-hour flight. You feel me? Like, he can get here and get back. You feel me? So she was right in a way with her thinking. She just had the wrong
person. Yeah, because he literally could be like, all right, babysitter, you watch the baby. I'm about to jump on this plane. I'll be right back. Blah, blah,
he didn't even gotta say he jumped on the plane. I'm going.
Yeah, he really don't. 4 hours later, you talking that's half a work day. He done got there. He done messed around, did his thing. He done got back home and like status quo.
The baby on that. She said, "Dad, live
exactly." And also this is also after she'd already had these conversations with the police about feeling like she was drugged. They finally were like taking her serious about the drugging. They had her get checked out at the hospital, and then by the time they found the body, they had her test results back to find out she had the ketamine. Find out old girl had cocaine and ketamine in her system. So it was like everything was like adding up for them to start bringing her in for questioning about what really happened.
Word.
Yeah.
You know, and so she takes the phone. She had found the phone in the purse after she got the purse back. So finally, when she sees the body, she finally thinks about it like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go back see the body again, get the face unlocked, and start seeing what was up. And that's when she discovered.
Like, I think she honestly, like, it bothered me a little that she did it the way she did it, but I felt like she did it because she wanted to know like what happened. I don't think that she knew what she was going to find.
She didn't suspect.
She just did it on some. Let me try to retrace, like, see who she talked to before anything went down. And
right, because remember, it's still a mystery to her of who she was talking to, since the ex-husband said, "Oh, I hadn't talked to her yesterday," and she's like, "Well, who is she having this argument with then? Like, what's going on?" And it turned out the handyman, her husband.
And then I was like, she always like, I gotta go to the bathroom and be upset about it. No, just walk out of that thing and go back where you was and figure the shit out on your own. Why you got a bathroom break? Like, I get it, you know.
And then is that the point where they send her home?
Yep.
They don't take a passport yet. That's coming up. But they send
her. She's talking to her husband about this.
She called the ex-husband first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she called the ex-husband.
Yeah, and the ex-husband confirmed, like he already knew.
Yep.
You feel me, that they was cheating.
Yeah.
You feel me? So he was like, because that would have made her even hurt worse. It's like, damn, you already knew this. Why you ain't telling me this when I called you? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Right.
You feel me? And
he probably also didn't suspect anything because he's thinking like, well, your husband's at home with the baby. So
exactly.
Nobody's suspecting anything about the husband.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she called the husband and he was trying to lie. Like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, bitch, stop lying. I got the messages.
Right.
He pissed me off. It's like she said it to you, bro. And then you like, no, what? And taking long pauses. That's like, I just posted that shit. If a woman asks you a question, she already know the answer. She just want to see if you're gonna lie down her face or just tell the truth. And you sitting there like, what? It wasn't until the heifer said she had text messages to prove it.
Like, he panicked.
And what credit card was she using?
It was the ex-husband's credit card.
No, I know that, but I'm like, what? Like, how did your wife didn't know about this? Like, she over here swiping. She never seen that card. She just over here swiping your husband's card with no care in the world. Just swiping, no swiping. She's just out here living her life. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, she was swiping her ex-husband's.
Yeah, it was her ex-husband's card.
It wasn't the one. It wasn't Beth's husband card.
Yeah, it wasn't Rob's card. No.
Yeah, yeah, it was her ex-husband's card.
I thought it was the husband's card.
Oh yeah, no. She when Beth asked her about the car because the waiter came back and was like, the car got declined, and she goes, "Oh, were you arguing with him about the car?" She said yes, And then she talks to the ex-husband. Ex-husband's like, nah, I ain't talked to her about no card. I ain't talked to her at all. Like, I haven't even had a conversation with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is to the lawyers. I don't even talk to that heifer. That's how bad it is. I don't.
Exactly. He's like, everything to the lawyers.
Did they come get her?
They came and got her. I think they called her. I can't remember if they came and got her or they called her, told her, okay, come see the body. And then, I'm sorry. You're talking about arrest.
No,
they came and arrested her. Yeah,
they came and arrested her in the house with the weirdo.
Yeah.
First of all, let's backtrack to that. I'm sorry. The Airbnb is over. You got to go stay at a hotel. You choose to stay at this weird ass man house.
Well,
so why would you do that?
For free, right? Part of that was like
no, he paid. He gave it to her at a discount.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But like he looked weird and creepy. He was in that house and was packing that girl's shit, and you didn't even know he was in there. I'm not staying with you.
Right. That was the weird part.
Like what's the name? Like what's his name? What's Zane said? You too trusting. You this nigga. You was in there going through the motions about your friend losing your friend, thinking you by yourself, and this man is in there packing her belongings and sniffing her clothes.
Sniffing her lingerie.
I'm not about to go stay with you.
But no, my thing was he's literally sniffing her lingerie. He's sitting up there acting real weird and
like holding the dress up like this is a beautiful, like just like he wanted to put it on, nigga. No, I'm not staying with you.
Right. I was like, that was poor, very poor.
You probably smelling my drawers while I'm going. Like, nah, I don't got time for that.
Exactly. Yeah, she was too trusting on that one. But and the fact that he was literally putting her in the dungeon. I'm like, are you
walking out to the house, there's doors, and she ain't going none of them. She got to go down deep in the nah.
He was like, you're crazy. He was like, you're down there. Enjoy. I'm like, no, bro.
I think you're gonna like it here. You know what? I'm gonna go to a hotel because you sound crazy and creepy.
You sound real creepy, bro. You sound real creepy.
But she was desperate.
Yeah, that was, I think, what it was too.
And she didn't want to leave because she thought her friend might come back.
Yeah, and then
at that point, the body wasn't found yet. So he made it sound appealing, like, look, your friend might come back, and you want to be here, so you find her. She's like, yeah, that's true. You know, I don't want to go somewhere that now I'm out of the loop and everything of what's going on.
So they made her fast forward, they made her forfeit the passport.
Yeah.
And that's when what happened next? That's when they start questioning Zane and all of that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's when they start questioning Zane.
How the hell he pop up in her room? Like, listen, I would have humped that man. I'm sorry, but continue.
Because when she was in there, she was asking for a lawyer. When she asked for the lawyer, and when the lawyer came, the lawyer basically said they don't got no evidence. Everything they got is circumstantial. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So not just for her, but for him too.
For Zane too.
Yeah, so they ain't had no evidence. So when that's why he was free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He got off faster than she did, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And so then that's when they had a little interaction. She what happened then?
Well, that's when she told him about the affair.
Yeah.
They go back and forth about his situation because she was like, "Well, what's up with them telling me that you are Albanian gangster?" And he's like, "No. This is really what happened. Like, I'm not a gangster. I'm just a guy, you know."
Yeah, I
still think you're a little sketch.
Yeah, I thought in that moment they were connecting and bonding and sharing stories. I thought she was just going to finally get some draws. Like, listen. We both messed up. This is what's happening in life.
That would have pissed me off. That would have pissed me completely off.
I thought it was going to happen, and then it was like a long pause, and then
that would have threw the movie off. That would have threw the movie off. If the movie wasn't a flow.
Like, I felt at that point you found your husband was cheating. You should have just got something from Zane. He was the nicest person from you from the gate. If you was going to get some dick, it shouldn't have been from a gigolo. It should have been from a regular person.
But you got to understand, her friend is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
her friend is dead. So the last thing she's thinking about is
giving up the draw.
Like, even though she did this, that, and the third to me, she dead. Yeah. And that's when she figured out. She also figured out that's why they were there.
Right.
She was there so Kate could tell her.
Yeah.
That's why Kate brought her there. She was like, now understand.
And then the husband like, I got the baby, you go ahead. So you could tell, so your wife could get told she cheating. You should have been like, no, baby, don't go.
Yeah. And then isn't that how they found out how did she find out
that they knew about the cheating?
No, that yeah, that part.
She found out because remember so after Zane left and she woke up,
They bugged her room.
She was in the mirror. No, they didn't bug her room. The fucking landlord had it bugged. He had everything rigged. It was the landlord, not the police.
Yeah, but I think he handed it to them. That's how they found
he
out.
Gave it to them.
Right, that's how they found out.
That's how they found out because she's sitting there and then she realized that it's a camera and the thing, and then she's like, "Wait a minute, what the hell?"
Yeah, and then I don't know what gave it away to her, but she kind of looked, and then she looked again. She was like,
"Well, what the hell is this?" Because it was like a weird opening. It looked like when you got closer, you could see that it was like a weird opening of like it looked like what could be a camera.
Because she was still trying to figure out how they found out.
Yeah,
yeah.
You feel me? So I think that
and when she looked behind and saw that mic, she was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it triggered her. She's like, "Yo, yeah, the only way they could, because the only time she talked about it was when she was in that room."
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Feel me? So that's what triggered her. That's what triggered her.
And then she trying to creep around, and then Creeper 10 pop out. Like, where the fuck was you at when she was like, "Hello," and you wasn't in there? And now all of a sudden you there.
I know. I was like, that was even more reason for me not to trust this guy. I'm like, this guy's a whole creep, bro. He probably killed that girl. I was like, it's him. It's him. It's him.
I thought it was him too.
I was looking like the
especially after she saw that room full of videos. She saw all the videos and stuff like that, and then she's like, "Man."
Well, first she had to steal his key.
Right.
That part pissed me off because I'm like, how the hell he did not see her take? He had one key. He had like 2 keys on the keychain.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Then she had 2 keys, so he ain't feeling when he picked it up and walked out the door. Like,
no. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna admit that shit would have happened to me. I would have never known. I got 3 keys on my keychain. I would have never known. I wouldn't be paying attention. I just grab my keys and go. I'm the same way. Because at first when he did it, I thought she was taking the keys. But then she goes, "Are you leaving?" And I'm thinking like, why are you asking me? You taking this keys? What you asking me? But then I realized she had just taken the 1 key. And I was like, damn.
No, it was 2 keys she took.
No, it was just the one.
It was just the one. It was just the one
to get into the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, that shit would have happened to me. Like, because I don't pay. Like, I literally grab my keys. I just grab them and just be like, all right, I got 1 key. I got my fob for my car on one side. I got my house key on the other side. And I usually don't pay attention. I just grab it and go. And but I think that what was crazy about that, though, was that she had that big-ass monitor so she could see outside for him walking.
And she wasn't paying attention. She was pissing me off.
Didn't pay one bit of attention. I'm like, bro, you literally could have caught this man walking in and been out of there.
But I can understand that happened. See, now that would happen to me because she was so shocked
of all the stuff he had
at what she was seeing, and then she was like, "Hold up, you got that day?
Yes, yeah,
you got that night. Let me go to that night." So she worried about clearing her name and trying to figure out what happened. Fuck that monitor. She got locked in now.
That monitor was big as hell, though. They had the camera on her face and the monitor. And I'm like, I'm staring at the monitor. She's staring at the other screen. I'm staring at the monitor like
he coming back, bitch.
He's coming back.
He's right behind you.
He's right behind you.
And then that's when not everything is revealed, but
more of the story.
You see what happened when they get back. You see.
They really robbed her. They really was in there in the hot tub. She's like, "I'm going to get in the shower," and they
literally didn't even wait. I was like, I think maybe one got smashed, and then the other one was like, "All right, it's time to go." And she was like, "I'm gonna go take a shower."
No, he had to have ordered that Uber in the process of them fucking and her getting out. He was like, "All right, this was orders."
That's what I was about to say. While he's smashing, my man ordering the Uber. Like, yeah, we need you to pick us up because he's gonna be done in 1.2 minutes.
We coming out. We coming right outside.
Just another minute to steal all the stuff. Then we out. We good.
Well, guess what saved Beth's life is that she didn't do the cocaine.
Yeah.
Because the cocaine is the only reason why Kate was still up. They didn't expect. They expected both of them to be knocked out.
But Kate was like living her best life, so they probably had to fuck her. They probably didn't want to.
But because she was off that coke and they counteracted whatever drug they tried to.
Right,
so she was up.
Yep.
Yeah, she was up, and then that's when you go through and you can see when When she run outside, she hop in the car. You see the license plates. Beth take down the license plates, and then now you see where the blood come from.
Yep. When she cut the foot on the glass. Yep.
On the glass.
Exactly.
Trying to chase him from stealing her shit.
Probably trying to chase him out of the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now you like, hold on. So did they do something to her or not? Because
right.
You know
Right.
I mean? So then she was trying to figure out where them license plates came from. But before she can get there, old boy came back in that room.
Yep. Shocked the heck out of her, man. And then when she hit him and made him hit that table, I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, did she just kill him?
You really about to go to jail now for real? I was like, it's over. It's over.
I said, oh my God.
My
I was like,
man
she
was
killed
like,
him.
No. It's okay. He starts deleting them videos. I'm like, no, not the videos.
Yeah, I thought she killed him.
Well, now I'm thinking like, oh my God, like she's lucky she stayed because she'd have never got all that information from them video cameras, you know. But
man, she was pissed at him because he knew the truth.
And he ain't say nothing.
And he ain't say nothing.
Yeah, I would have been pissed off too. Like, bitch.
Yeah. He was over here telling,
they trying to lock me up. You over here giving out evidence and stupid shit like that. Knowing damn well I ain't do shit. You saw me in the bed the whole fucking night looking half dead like a zombie, looking like this. Please,
exactly. But to his point, he couldn't
say nothing because he shouldn't have been recording.
Exactly. He shouldn't have been recording that part of the thing. But then the other problem I had with him was that he knew the whole situation with the escorts and everything and didn't do nothing about that either. So it's like, bro, like you just letting everybody get away with murder.
He's like, I just wanted to make sure there was no parties because people have parties. Like, you sound like a fucking loser, yo.
Yeah, seriously.
And he was, to be honest with you.
Right, yeah.
He was.
That's why he got his ass beat.
Girl.
Exactly.
She ain't come back and apologize for nothing. She almost killed that man and they didn't even say, I'm sorry, my bad.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's when she had to run the Zane, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she ran the Zane.
So they catch up with the cab driver who took her to the first, and then that's when he finds out from the cab driver she took that woman to the police. Like, oh, bro.
And she like, what, bitch? That man said he didn't take no. She said he probably didn't take no report. He didn't.
Yep, didn't take a report. They ain't gonna act like he never even seen her before. That's what killed me about it. I was like, oh, this man is involved.
That's what made me suspect of him. Because once they said they took him to the police station, it was like, oh, so it wasn't the husband or the creepy man. It was this. It was the cop.
It was the cop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then while they out there getting that information, who pull up? He the first one to pull up.
First one to pull up. I was like, he's guilty. He's guilty.
Then he chasing people he was trying to get Beth like, come here, bitch. Let me talk to you.
Oh no, my thing too is during the chase. During the chase, he kept sending everybody away so he could be alone with them. I'm like,
because he was trying to take her out because he knew at that point. I think he understood that she was going to find out. Like, she was so relentless of trying to find out what happened to her friend, even though they were trying to accuse her, that he knew that she wasn't going to give up until she found out. And it was closer that he knew that some way it was going to find out. She was going to find out about him.
And that's why Zane deserved the MVP.
Yeah, because he was like, he didn't do. He sacrificed himself.
He sacrificed himself.
She's like, but they're gonna kill you. He like, I'm like, this. Give him the draws, girl. He don't care.
I know. Fuck him right there in the hallway.
Like, at some point in the movie, you need to get this nigga the cheeks, and you need to do everything that he's supposed to do. Because this nigga didn't know you from a can of paint, was ready to get killed by the popo to save you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and this is why cinematography, everything about how it was written and how they directed. So as he goes away, you can hear him say, "It's Pavich, it's Pavich."
Yep.
You feel me? It's him, and you can hear the captain like, "What? What are you talking about?" But they're panning the camera away.
Because you see them chasing each other.
Yeah, like you don't really see him in the conversation. You will hear him.
Right.
Yeah.
You
know me, and I was like, that's dope how they did that.
And then how she actually believed him in that moment.
Yep.
Because she was already suspicious. I'm telling you, you didn't file a report.
Right.
When she first heard that,
Or even before that, when it was the first interview with Beth, and Beth was telling her what was going on, and Pavich was telling her like, "Oh no, don't worry about it, I got this." And she like, "That's weird. Like, why are you acting like this?" But then she was like, "You know what? Whatever." And then now the report come up missing. You knew this woman was here the night before. Like, wait a minute, now you fooling. Now I'm putting 3 and 4 together and getting 7. Something's wrong. And so so they go upstairs. They take in there. Why is everybody falling off of stuff? So they go upstairs. He confronts her. She tells him like, "Look, I know it was you. I know you did something to my friend.
You.
My man took
like,
took that wrong step. Boom, right off that roof. I was like, oh shoot." Like, that ended climactically. Then I'm like, I hope somebody saw this, that it wasn't her. Like,
then you see the lady cop. I'm like, thank God, because then I'm like, she could be on some bullshit in Charger with killing the officer because police ain't shit.
But in the meantime, before he fell, if you pay attention now, thinking back, you can see the confusion on his face.
Yes,
like, bitch, I ain't killed nobody. Yeah, I talked to her, I seen her, but like, I ain't killed nobody. You feel me? Why you think it's me?
And before he get anything happen, he on the ground bleeding, head bust.
You feel me? So he really couldn't even defend it. He ain't even have a chance to defend himself.
Right, at all.
You feel me? Because if he didn't die, they probably would have found out the truth quicker.
Exactly. Yeah, because they was definitely gonna be arresting his ass. That's exactly. For sure. They would have definitely been arresting him. Which is crazy.
That was crazy.
Like you said, that it was his facial expression, and he was just generally like, "What are you talking about?"
But I think it was because he had a range of emotions. Because she was like, "Yeah, she rejected." He like that slut. Like he was mad because like you fucked 2 other niggas. Because remember back in the interview, he said she fucked multiple people before she died. But she didn't want to fuck me. Like what? His anger in that moment of her saying she rejected you. That and then the confusion too. It was like a mixture of anger and confusion. So she probably was like, "Oh, well, he gonna lie." Her process is he lying because she rejected you and you killed her because you're a cop. You could do whatever.
Right.
And she a tourist. You didn't really want to investigate this shit from the beginning. So of course you probably killed her. And then you get flying off there, and then you fall off the fucking circle. Like
that was the thing when Rob left, the husband Rob, when he left, I was thinking to myself, Beth needs to leave her ass there too. She needs to leave. Why are you staying? Like, you really need to go. And she
had to bring her friend body back.
Yeah, see, I'm like, nah, bro, it wouldn't have been me. It wouldn't have been me. I'd have been like, oh, I mean, I'd have been saying
she fucked my husband. I don't really care. Figure it out.
Right. I'm gonna let the police figure this out. I'm in a foreign country. I got to get back to my baby. No, I'm not about to be sitting here. Let's go. Let's get up out of here. We'll deal with this.
I think she partly stayed because going home was dealing with the reality of your husband had cheated with your best friend. And this had been going on for however long it's been going on for. And rather than face that and deal with that, because you can't not face it, you confronted him and you're going to have to talk about it. So I think for her, it was like, let me not worry about this right here. Let me just figure out what happened to my friend.
I think
and avoid that.
I don't think she was avoiding it. I think she really was concerned. She truly would, what I mean? Her concern for her friend was super genuine. Yeah. That's where part of the naivety comes in. You feel me? Mm-hmm. The being gullible, but also showing she has a big heart.
Yeah, she was a loyal friend.
She a true friend. Like, okay, she did that to me, but in her mind, she don't deserve to die.
Yeah.
Let alone her body just here and nobody ever finds her body. So she, I can dig that. Of course, she probably was going through conflicting emotions. Like
she was mad at her,
You feel me? I can't believe this bitch did this to me. But at the same time, you feel me? That's still, you feel me? I can't just leave her here. There's so much history there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So after that, what pisses me off now is the captain again. Because all this gung-ho, you were so trying to find the truth. So a motherfucker just told you one story, he dies, and y'all just know he was come to find out they had him under investigation already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For previous situations with escorts or whatever.
Yeah, with assaulting women.
Yeah. Assaulting women. So they just chalked that up.
And put them in the tourist division of all places where people don't really care about people that's come to visit the country because Americans ain't shit no way.
Exactly. Exactly. And so then she goes home, and Sonny, let's go back to what you brought up earlier. You feel me? She get there, she don't want to talk to him really. She just, you know what I mean? So the baby was crying, so he was like, "Can you get something out of my pocket for the baby?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he finds, remember you brought up earlier, the gift she had gave.
Well, no, she had
gave
told
him,
him, she had told him that the baby favorite toy was in the bag, and he went to go look for it, and he was like, "Oh, it's in the dish thing," and she went to the dish, she couldn't find it, so she checked.
Oh no! You're talking about she was looking for
her kid.
keys.
I'm sorry, her kid.
She was looking for her keys.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then she found
the little piece of the necklace
that fell off.
That fell off. You feel me? And at that point, she knew the only way you could have got this necklace
is
if you was there.
Is if you was with her that night.
Yep.
You feel me? If you was with her that night. And so she immediately calls the captain back.
Yeah.
But everything happened so quick, she can't talk. So she thought, I ain't even real. She did it smooth as hell.
I know.
I saw it. I saw that. Yeah.
You saw
I thought she recorded it. I thought she either recorded it, but I never saw her hung up. I said, so she still got this lady on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, okay, good. She got the captain on the phone. Captain can listen in and see what everything that's happening, and hopefully it'll be coming in clear. So
yeah, I peeped that. I was like, she must have either she hung up real quick, but wouldn't make no sense because I'm sure the lady would have called her back if she had hung up.
Yeah.
I said she either recording it or she want her to hear it for herself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she ends up confronting the husband like, look, not only did you cheat with this woman, you done murdered her too. Like, bro, and she wasn't even dead. Like, she hit her head. She was alive. You let that woman drown to death. He was like, whoa, wait a minute, really? Like,
and I think he didn't even realize. I think he panicked.
Yeah, he did. He panicked. He admitted that. He admitted that he panicked. Yeah. He
panicked. So you feel me? And to be honest with you, we all say what we would do in that situation. I probably would have panicked too. She hit her head. She, maybe I would have went and tried to drag her out. You feel me? Or maybe I would have ran off. I don't know what I would have did. You feel me? But so I can understand him panicking. But what got me is even within that situation, within the he's lying to her.
Yeah.
And this is how they did it too. As he lying to her, they're going to the flashback of what he's really saying.
Exactly.
You feel me? So
he was saying like she was on him.
And I was just there to stop her from telling you and all of this. But meanwhile, he was trying to confess his love for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Like, you lying bastard. You dead lying. We're getting the truth right now.
But then this what culminated everything for me about relationships, all type of friendships, everything. So even though I don't think she deserved to die, she definitely deserved to die. But I had little empathy for her in that situation because she tried to, she started looking down on old boy like she had this righteous perch she was sitting on.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And no, you more foul than he is, in my opinion.
Yeah,
that's your girl. That's your homegirl.
Yeah,
like you introduced them to each other.
And you brought her here to try to, you feel me? You tried to get her to let her guard down so you can tell her what you've been doing after you got her to do something foul herself. Yeah. You feel me? At no point ever, she was self-serving the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? It was nothing about friendship. It was nothing about guilty conscience. You feel me? I really don't feel that way. I really feel like she was doing that. She was being super selfish.
Mm-hmm.
I think she realized old boy wanted more than what she was willing to give him.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think he loved her. I think he loved his wife. He loved Beth, but he desired
Yeah, the friend.
Kate.
He desired Kate.
Because he was like, you haven't had sex with me, and blah blah. Like, bitch, so like, I mean, that's kind of messed up, but like that's your justification for cheating on me for however long you was, and then you trying to act like you. I wish she could have known both sides of the story,
right? But
because she got his one-sided part, whatever she took from that was what she took from it. But I was like, even when she was, and then Zane was like, "I'm about to come see you." I'm like, she don't got her phone. She in the park without the phone. She was just laying on the ground with it. Give Zane the cheeks. Give Zane the cheeks.
This is the ill part. Let's get back to Zane. One part we skipped. Because remember we said Zane had some special skills. You feel me?
Yes.
Like Zane wasn't normal. Zane actually told her what to do if a man is attacking you. Like early on, he was like, go for the weak spots, either go for eyes, go for the throat, the nuts,
the balls.
You feel me? And this is what I loved about the movie, because we watch all these action flicks. Willie, you know, I don't care what type of man you is, you get hit right there, fight over.
It's over. Fight over, literally
over. I don't know. You feel me? So she hit him in the throat, bang. Hit him in the nuts, bang. He was down for the count.
He was out.
And then she was like, "Mommy got you. Mommy got you. Got the baby and left."
Bye-bye.
She didn't even pick up her phone. She was like, "Let me get my baby and get the fuck up out of here. This nigga might get back up."
Exactly. But I just like the movie because it broke down, like it showed you the complexities in relationships.
Yeah, and then it made you. It was like a who done it, but like who you thought it was never them, and like. Even when you thought it was the husband early on, it's like, nah, it wasn't him. And then the fun part, it was.
You were the only one to figure that out, apparently, because I know I did not figure that out.
I didn't know. No, I didn't know that he killed her, but I knew once the friend hugged her, you probably fucking this girl husband, because like she was all like, "I love you," and I'm sorry, blah blah blah, and then you sitting there
don't
like,
ever cheat around Sonny, because Sonny gonna know.
I was like, "Bitch, I'll punch you in the face." Like,
he became a suspect for me. Once he pulled up. No, once I seen him text messages.
Oh no, he became a suspect to me once he pulled up outside the
messages.
I'm like,
oh, so because for me, I still had it. Excuse me, Kate's ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still like, homie, only 2 hours away.
Right.
You know what I mean? Homie, only 2 hours away. You feel me? She planning.
Right,
taking his money, you know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing.
I never thought it was him, though.
Huh?
I never thought it was him.
I never suspected him either.
Just because of the first conversation Kate had with him when she went missing, the lack of fuck that it was given.
But see, that was part of the reason why I thought it was
made me not like. I don't know why. I never suspected him. For me, it was the gigolos. And then it was the husband, then it was the cop, and then it ended up being the husband. Like that's what my thought process was. And then
mine was always
Jeff was gonna die.
It was the gigolos thing. I was thinking that they may have kidnapped her and sold her to somebody. And then I was like, okay, since it wasn't them, I was like, it's got to be Zane involved. Then I was like, nah, Zane's too cool. Then I was like, oh man, it was the cop. So, it was the landlord. Then I was thinking it was the landlord for the longest, like all the way to the end.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm sorry, that's what I forgot.
And then at the end, it was like, oh damn, it was the husband. Like,
no, that's so I misspoke. I'm sorry. I thought it was the gigolos. Then I thought it was the I thought it was the husband. Then I thought it was the cop. No. Then I thought it was the weird landlord. Then I thought it was the cop, and then it turned out to be the husband. So
yeah, I just knew once they said she went back to the police station and filed a report. I was like, oh, it is the cop. So I just knew it was the cop at that point. You feel me?
The cop was guilty. From that point on. Yeah,
you couldn't tell me it wasn't the cop.
Yeah,
and then like that little twist at the end, I was like, they did the damn thing with that one.
Exactly.
I would have never caught that one. I would have never caught that one.
All right. Well, that was a great movie. Appreciate you, Smooth, for bringing that to us. It was definitely a great watch. It was a quick and easy watch too. That's another thing I liked about it. So it definitely flowed. Because I actually watched it last night, like real late, like because I had the other show I did the Right to Real Love over at Jay's channel. And so make sure y'all check that out. It should be, I don't know if it's already posted or not. It's on his YouTube, Right to Real Love. We talked about dating after divorce. So make sure y'all check that out. But yeah, so I had to do that show. I had a couple of things I needed to take care of. Then I was like, all right, now I got to watch this movie. And yeah, it was only an hour and a half, and I was in and out. So it was good. It was good stuff.
Well, you think that was good? Y'all should watch the HBO Max show, the Girl Before. I think it's called The Girl Before Me or something like that. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, I checked that one out. I might check that out this weekend.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
I don't know if they're gonna do a season 2, but if they do, I'm interested to see what happens to it. Like, I think it's odd that they be making these seasons and then it don't be like.
Netflix got another one. I can't think of the name right now. It's basically the daughter is a mom it's about a mom and a daughter, and so it's a shooting. Dude coming to a diner, start shooting everybody, and because the daughter had on I'm about to find out the title for you in a second. And because the daughter had on a police uniform, dude was about to shoot her too. And the mom ran over there and covered her. Was like, nah, she's not a real cop, because she wasn't. She was just a dispatcher, really. So she covered her. She's like, no, please don't shoot her. She stood up and she was like, just shoot me instead. And
it's a movie?
No, it's a TV show. I mean, it's a series. So then he stabs her in her hand, and before you know it, she switches around, slices throat.
Oh, dang.
So
okay. So mom out here being a thug. Okay.
The daughter looked at her like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
Because pieces of her.
Okay. Pieces of
Basically,
her.
the daughter.
Oh, I think I saw like a preview of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Each episode, she finding out more and more about who her mom really is. You feel me? So
her mom about that life. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give you the quick rundown. So after, I ain't watched the whole thing yet. So after she sliced her throat, boom. Next thing you know, the news, cameras everywhere. She's sitting in the hospital like, fuck.
Wow.
I'm just trying to save my baby.
Oh, Ghost is her ex-husband. I can't think of his name right now. Omari
Hart.
Yeah, Omari Hart.
And he come to the hospital. So immediately when they get out the hospital, the mom look at the daughter. It's like, yeah, you got to get out. Kicks her out.
Oh wow!
Like she really trying to because she
protect her. The shit about to go down.
So she like, you got to get the fuck out. So she like, what? So that same night, they at the crib. You nigga pop up. You feel me? This time the daughter, boom. You think the daughter got him out of there. You feel me? But you come to find out he ain't really dead. But so the daughter tried to call the cops. She like, nah, fuck that. Take his keys, go find his truck, get the fuck out of here.
All right. I have to check it out for sure. It sounds interesting. Sounds interesting.
So I'm not.
Is this one season right now, or is it into a couple seasons?
Nah, this season 1. Season 1.
Okay. I think I seen the previews on Netflix because I was waiting on a couple of my shows to come back out.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check out Pieces of Her. Okay, for sure. All right, we're gonna wrap this show up. Sonny, you want to tell folks where they can find you?
Y'all can find me at @IamSunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok for those that stalk me. Stop adding me on Snapchat by my phone number. I'm never gonna add you. Also visit me at unreservedlyme.com.
All right, Smooth.
You already know it's your boy Smooth. You can catch me on Twitter all the time at eTrentonGroomMe. Listen, I ain't on there to debate with too many of y'all. Today y'all was going crazy in my mentions. I had to mute the conversation. It was crazy. They was calling me all types of names and everything.
Oh, what the heck? Oh, wow.
Because the Novak Djokovic, there was an article that, because he ain't take the vaccine, tennis player, top greatest ever. And so he can't come to USA and play. He got kicked out of Australia. You feel me? So I was like, yeah. So I was like, hey, I respect his decision because he's standing on the square. He hasn't wavered. Man, next thing you know, you had everybody in my comments.
If you ain't know.
No. They're coming at me like, nah, I mean, he's a fool. You's a fool too for supporting him.
Oh, wow. Dang.
There's a bunch of random people with no they gotta be bots.
They said no avatars or nothing.
Yeah, just these crazy, you know what I mean? 22 followers. Man, I had like 60 comments in like 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
So, but y'all can find me on
Twitter wars with
each
groovy.
kingstruth.com is my blog. I'll at me there in the King's Truth on Snapchat.
And as always, we got to shout out Chevy. She normally joins me on the recaps. Chevy the Superstar over on the Chevy Superstar show every Thursday. She'll be doing reviews tomorrow. They're celebrating Women's History Month with movies that are either directed or starring women. And so make sure y'all check that out. I believe they're doing Women of Color, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So definitely check those movies out that they're doing. They'll be doing that tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Two Snaps in the Circle, her and Latoya. Or follow her over at S the Superstar on IG and at Chevy the Superstar on YouTube and Twitch. And it's your boy, Willie Stylez, in the building. Get at me at Willie Stylez on IG and Twitter. I'm Willie.Stylez over on Snapchat and TikTok. Find me over at Gaming with Stylez for all the games that I'm playing. StylesRadio.com for all the hot tracks that I'm listening to. And WillieStylez.info for all my links. Be on the lookout. I may be coming back to doing a radio show. It may not be on Twitter or not Twitter. It may not be on YouTube and Facebook, but there's a new platform that just dropped. I'm going to definitely be checking that out, jumping on that, and look out for more information on that coming soon. All right. So as always, like Smooth was just letting y'all know, get our merchandise over at gftradio.creator-spring.com. They got cups, they got t-shirts, sweatshirts, masks, long sleeve shirts, crop tops. We got all kinds of stuff. So make sure y'all check that out and support us while we support you with all this great content. So yeah, have a great night. We appreciate y'all again for joining us. Like, subscribe, share. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell over on YouTube. However you need to do to get all the notifications when we're doing shows and when we're going live. So make sure y'all check that out. Like, follow, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all on the next one. Holla.